In the quiet stillness of a sun-drenched meadow, a scene unfolds that is both captivating and grotesque. A majestic horse, once a symbol of grace and power, now stands in stark contrast to its former glory. Its coat, usually a lustrous sheen of chestnut, is marred by a horrific wound, a gaping hole that seems to pulsate with life. This is no ordinary injury. It is the result of a beehive infestation, a phenomenon that is as fascinating as it is repulsive. As we delve deeper into this unsettling tableau, prepare yourself for a journey into the dark underbelly of nature, where beauty and horror intertwine in a dance as old as time. The wound on the horse's flank is a grotesque testament to the relentless power of nature. It is not merely a gash, it is a hive, a colony of bees that has taken up residence in the soft flesh of the animal. The bees, with their industrious buzzing, have transformed this once proud creature into a living host. A grotesque home for their burgeoning population, the sight is enough to make even the most stoic observer recoil in horror. The flesh around the wound is swollen and inflamed, a vivid red that contrasts sharply with the horse's natural color. Pus oozes from the edges, a thick, yellowish substance that speaks to the infection festering within. It is a scene that evokes both sympathy and disgust, a reminder of the fragility of life and the often brutal realities of the natural world. As we explore the mechanics of this infestation, it becomes clear that the bees are not merely parasites. They are a force of nature, driven by instinct and survival. The horse, in its innocence, has unwittingly become a vessel for their reproduction. The bees, attracted to the warmth and moisture of the horse's body, have burrowed into the flesh, creating a hive that thrives on the nutrients found within. This grotesque symbiosis is a stark reminder of the harsh reality. In the vast, shimmering expanse of the ocean, where sunlight dances on the waves and life thrives in myriad forms, a dark and unsettling story unfolds beneath the surface. Meet Luna, a once vibrant dolphin, now a haunting figure of suffering. Her sleek body, once a symbol of grace and agility, is marred by a horrific wound, a grotesque testament to the harsh realities of marine life. As we dive deeper into her world, we are confronted with the chilling truth of a mussel infestation that has taken hold of her, transforming her into a living canvas of decay and despair. Imagine, if you will, the moment Luna first felt the insidious grip of these tiny mollusks. It begins innocently enough, a slight irritation, a tickle against her skin. But as days turn into weeks, the situation escalates. The mussels, seemingly harmless at first, latch onto her body, burrowing into her flesh with a tenacity that is both astonishing and horrifying. They multiply rapidly, creating a grotesque patchwork of shells and soft tissue, a nightmarish growth that festers and weeps. The wound, once a mere annoyance, now resembles a gaping maw, a dark abyss that threatens to consume her from the inside out. Mussels, those unassuming bivalves that often grace our dinner plates, have a darker side when it comes to their survival. In the wild, they are opportunistic feeders, filtering water for nutrients. But when they find a host, like Luna, they become parasites, exploiting her body for their own gain. The infestation can lead to severe tissue damage, infections, and ultimately a slow and agonizing demise. As the mussels cling to her, they siphon off her energy, leaving her weak and vulnerable, a shadow of her former self. The sight of Luna, her skin riddled with these invasive creatures, is enough to turn the stomach. In the vast, unforgiving expanse of the desert, where the sun blazes mercilessly and the winds whisper secrets of survival, there exists a creature that has long been a symbol of resilience, the camel. But today, we delve into a haunting tale that shatters this image of strength. Picture a camel, its once proud silhouette marred by a horrific honeycomb wound, a grotesque testament to the harsh realities of life in the wild. This wound, a gaping maw of flesh and infection, reveals a dark underbelly of nature's cruelty. As we draw closer, the sight is enough to make even the most seasoned observer recoil. The honeycomb structure, formed by necrotic tissue and festering pus, is not merely a wound, it is a breeding. In the stark, icy expanse of the Arctic, where the sun barely pierces the endless twilight, a polar bear roams, a majestic creature now marred by a horrific affliction. This is not just any bear, it is a survivor, a testament to resilience in a world that grows increasingly hostile. But as we draw closer, the beauty of its snowy white fur is overshadowed by a grotesque sight, a honeycomb wound, gaping and raw, revealing the dark underbelly of nature's cruelty. This wound, a festering reminder of the harsh realities of life in the wild, is not merely a scar. It is a battleground, a host to a sinister infestation that thrives on the bear's suffering. As we observe this unfortunate creature, we must confront the unsettling truth. Barnacles, those seemingly innocuous marine organisms, have taken residence on its skin. These crustaceans, typically found clinging to rocks and ships, have found a new home on the polar bear, embedding themselves into the flesh with a tenacity that is both fascinating and repulsive. The barnacles, with their hard, calcareous shells, create